also want to give a quick shout out to Sugar Bear Hair. I met their team weekend 1 at Coachella, and they really helped me and my friends out with sister security because it was crazy. You guys probably already know about their iconic hair vitamins.
Like, I have been someone who's been super supportive to my friends, and it's been really crap to feel like, not that you should do things to get support, but like, you know, friends should support one another. That's how it should be, and you know, I'm having one of those days.
In the grand scheme of it all, like, you have to really check in with yourself and really think about, like, is this really, like, a thing? Because if not, you're going to be sitting on the internet crying over vitamins when things are really going on around the world. But I'm not one to tell you how to feel, but, you know, like, vitamins.
So if you're going to go on the internet and cry and heavily imply that there's a horrible human being and everybody can get what it is, girl, sit on the internet and talk about it then.
Huh? Of course I'm not jealous. What in the world would lead you to believe I'm jealous?
With the beginning. Coachella weekend was on April 12th to April 21st. James Charles went to Coachella and wanted to spend an extra weekend there, but he didn't have the artist pass, which is basically when celebrities get the pass, they get brought to a private section where you're not with the VIPs, which anyone could buy. However, James didn't have artist pass for the next weekend, so he bought some VIP tickets but was getting mobbed. So he immediately texted Nikita Dragon. She got into Coachella using Sugar Bear Hair's artisans. Reached out to Sugar Bear Hair and they said that they will give him a handful of artist passes for an exchange of him making an ad for their brand. Now, James Charles is very, very close friends with Tati Westbrook. Tati Westbrook is an influencer just like James, in that Tati actually has her own vitamin brand. Her vitamins are called Halo Beauty, and essentially Sugar Bear Hair is her #1 competitor in vitamins. So, James uploaded the ad on April 22nd after his Coachella weekends, and he had to leave it up there for 24 hours. So, he did text Tati before the video went up, saying, hey, listen, this is what I'm doing, this was my situation, and obviously she was not happy. Tati then made a video on May 10th talking about how she was very upset that James didn't have the audacity to tell her about the ad. And on that same day, when James was in Australia, he did respond to her video, immediately apologizing, because he had been trying to contact her, so he wanted to issue a public apology. On May 16th, Tati uploaded a second video called Why I Did It. And in this video, she talked about why she made the first one, and the reason why was because all of this blew up out of proportion. On May 18th, James Charles then posted his take on what exactly happened, with receipts. Then, on May 19th, Jeffree posted his Never Doing This Again video, where he explains and apologizes as well, because he did say in his tweets that he was gonna pull up receipts and that this wasn't okay and everything, and in his video, he did not. So keep in mind, this all happened in 2019. However, things started to resurface after everything kind of went away. On June 30th, 2020, Tati made a video called Breaking My Silence, explaining how sorry she is to James, and everything that she said in the first video was false, and that she was actually manipulated by Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson into thinking that James is a predator. Now, Shane did not react to this well. He did an Instagram live video expressing his frustrations, and it turned into a really bad thing because an observer evaluated and analyzed his body language, which wasn't good in the end. Jeffree then made another video called Doing What's Right on July 18th of 2020, and he basically said that we all need to take accountability for our actions, kind of targeting it to Tati, but also targeting it to himself.
You're a phony.
So, why did you make the video?
I only made the video because I was manipulated by Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. They fed me lies into thinking that James was a predator, and it was enough to scare me.
But you said in your Bye Sister video that Gabriel Samora called you out, which made you make the video.
Well, yes, I did, because he had no right in calling me out for crying on Instagram over vitamins when that wasn't the case.
What was the case then? Why did you expose James Charles? Because it seemed like it started over James making an ad for Sugar Bear.
Because Sugar Bear Hair is my #1 competitor and that James should have promoted my brand. But he said that it would be inappropriate to promote vitamins to his platform, which is compiled of a younger audience. And I did not make a video because of vitamins. I made the video because I was brainwashed to believe that James was going for straight men and forcing himself on them, which is not okay. And I believed that because he is still young and acted entitled at times.
You also said in your video, Breaking Silence, that you talked to Shane about how James was out of the country and he had a hotel room on a high floor, and that you were afraid of posting your Bi Sister video because of what James might do. So if you were having second thoughts, why did you post it?
Shane Dawson told me not to worry and that James wouldn't do that, and even said that he would be there for me when the video went live. Which I didn't accept his offer.
Anything else you would like to add to your statement?
I have spoke to James privately and apologized to him privately and publicly. We have no hate towards each other and all the drama and issues. I also don't believe that Jeffrey and Shane are the only ones involved with this, because this is so much bigger than you can imagine, and I believe there are more victims that are going to be involved, and we should be forgiving, for people make mistakes all the time and we shouldn't cancel them for it.
Miss me with that bullshit. You ain't really wild.
What was your reaction to Tati's Bi Sister video?
I was in Australia for a meet and greet, and I felt very guilty for doing the Sugar Bear ad, and I wanted to apologize publicly to Tati and her husband and let everyone know that because they helped me get to where I am today, so I did feel very bad for making them both feel the way Tati described in her video. However, she only told half of the story, and it was only fair to tell my half as well.
It was said in Tati's Bi Sister video that you met this guy at Tati's birthday dinner and talked about things you wanted to do to him.
No. The topic came up about relationships, and I talked about it for a brief moment, and Jeffrey talked about his relationship with his boyfriend as well. I only asked their waiter if I could get Sam's number, which they said that it was policy they could not.
So in your No More Lies video about Sam, the guy who is straight, you said that he reached out to you first?
Yes, he did reach out to me first, and I complimented in the DMs as shown, and he said that he was flattered and mentioned that he was bisexual. I was only in Seattle for one more day and invited him to my hotel room to watch a movie, which he then agreed to.
And what happened in that hotel room?
We watched a movie and cuddled, and then I asked him if he wanted to kiss, and he agreed to, which we made out for about an hour. Then after, he said he wanted to leave, which I didn't want him to, but I wasn't going to force him to stay, so he left, then met me later on that night thanking me for being so understanding, because he has never been with or done anything with a guy before, and he needed to process that.
How do you feel about Jeffree Star and Tati Westbrook now?
I thank them for going on their social medias and try to calm things down, because this did become bigger than anyone could have expected, so I do appreciate them for doing that. But they still stand by what they had said. I truly don't know why Jeffree Star is bashing me about going after straight men because I'm attracted to them, because he literally said in his video truth behind my relationship.
It's because I am really not attracted to anyone but what we call in this world as a straight male or a normal dude. And what I mean by that is, like, you know, I am really into straight guys. And I know that is going to not be surprising to a lot of you.
I feel like Jeffrey and I are on the same page about our sexuality, and the fact that he is accusing me of pushing a straight man to go gay for me is mind-boggling. And for Tati Westbrook, she didn't tell the full story in context, so I feel as though she painted a terrible picture of me without telling the full story, which is very frustrating. But she did apologize to me privately, and I am not going to hold any grudges for that.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I feel like there was definitely a huge lack of communication on everyone's part except mine, because I was trying to talk to everyone involved and they didn't even give me a chance. So I am just trying to focus on myself and my life, because all of this did not have to become a big public thing and could have easily been solved with some better communication.
Like I talk it. Walk it,
the money up, there's poor people around. Take your shoes and walk a mile, something that you can't do. What's your broke ass?
Why'd you call James a predator?
I got information and voice recordings of alleged victims talking about their story, and James also messaged Nate, my ex-boyfriend's brother. Zach is straight, and it was very weird of James to message him and pursue him knowing that he isn't gay.
What do you have to say to this clip?
Nate's brother is single and mainly straight, right up your alley.
Sounds good.
And he
Sounds great for me.
And he just moved here. Word.
I just want to take accountability for my actions like everyone should. I don't want to be a part of drama anymore.
Okay, can you elaborate your Never Doing This Again video?
I know that a lot of people wanted me to come on here and expose the shit out of everyone and to show my receipts, but I am not going to give the people what they want.
Are you sure it's not giving what the people want, or is it because you don't have actual solid evidence to expose James?
Let me make this clear, I don't hate James Charles. We are not friends, but we did have a connection. I admit that I mishandled the friendship and I should have called him and asked if what people were telling me are true, but I didn't, and that is my bad. I was also in a very dark place the night before I filmed the video, and I really felt like I was old Jeffrey. So I did tweet and say things that I regret, but I don't want to do that anymore.
Also, James Charles' brother tweeted something to which you replied, "Why is your brother a predator? Why do you really move back to NYC? Exactly, shut the hell up."
I thought the tweet was about me, but after hearing James talk about how his brother was going through depression and he really wasn't talking about anything to do with the situation, I felt terrible. And he moved back to NYC to be with his parents, which I definitely feel terrible, even slightly bringing up his dark times, and for that I am really sorry to Ian.
Anything else you'd like to add?
From now on I am trying to not pick up the phone when some shit goes down, because I tend to say things out of anger and that isn't okay. I am just glad I am in a better headspace and that I am a successful human.
I just kinda wish you were gay.
So you made 2 videos talking about the whole James situation. In the first one you said that you reached out to James because you were bi-curious. Then in your second video you said your family and friends forced you to go along with being bisexual/gay because James is famous and it would make you get clout. Please elaborate more.
So yeah, I said in my first video that everyone was consensual and that James was talking to someone else at the same time he was talking to me, so I recorded a FaceTime call without his consent of me asking him.
Like, in all honesty, I think you were talking to him at the same time you were talking to me.
Yeah, we were.
I said in my second video that in the hotel room I was intimidated by him and felt bad for him paying for a hotel that was $1,500 and I was shy to tell him no, which wasn't on him, it was on me, but I knew when I kissed him I was straight. The reason why I kept talking to him was because everyone kept forcing me to, and even taking my phone and typing out things for me to say to him, and I really wasn't comfortable being gay bisexual to get money or fame. I did apologize in the video to James because the first video wasn't the entirety of the truth, and because throughout when I was talking to James the first kept saying that I was gay and straight then gay again and confusing him on what my sexuality was, which was probably frustrating on his side.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I said what I needed to say in my last video. I am so sorry, James. I should have told the whole truth without anyone's influence, and I should have been honest with you from the start.
How do you feel about Tati Westbrook now?
She is fake and doesn't know what the hell she is talking about. I was there for her and gave her my loyalty and offered to be there for her when she posted the Bi Sisters video.
So you knew about the video?
Yes, I did know about the video and that she was going to make it, which I talked about in my tweet thread. To which I deleted because I am done with all of this drama.
You also said in your Instagram live that Tati was fake crying literally after she said that she was a victim of sexual assault.
I was very angry that she had the audacity to even call me a manipulative person when I was literally supporting her decision and being there for her. And at the end of it all, she made the video that started all of this. I did not.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I am done with the beauty guru industry. It is toxic as hell.
You said in your video that through the body language of Tati and Shane, that both Shane and Jeffrey definitely manipulated Tati. Could you elaborate more?
So Tati never once fake cried. There were moments when she was reading from her script and You're Breaking My Silence video that she would look away and close her eyes and get almost a flashback of everything that happened last year and start crying, which is genuine. Shane's body language in his Instagram live. Well, he was very genuine in his frustrations. However, he was very scared. He never once denied the claims against him or Jeffrey, and he never called Tati a liar because she most likely isn't lying.
You also mentioned in your analysis on the Bi Sister video that Tati's body language was showing you that she was defensive. Could you explain?
Yes, she was talking about how Shane came over to her house and James thought that it was suspicious, thinking it was about him. Her body language when saying that was defensive, and what she said after. And in saying that it was diverted away by putting a negative claim out to the offensive side.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I feel as though that Shane and Jeffrey did manipulate Tati because in her video her body language showed that she was genuine, while in Shane's video his body language showed that he was getting caught red-handed.
So my take on the situation is everyone is wrong. Everyone did something wrong. James decided that he wanted an extra weekend at Coachella. That's understandable. However, I do think it was wrong that he could have approached it better. And he could have just left. Tati definitely did not have to make that video. She definitely could have asked James Charles about the situation and anything that she had doubts on. And Jeffrey definitely shouldn't have assumed anything, and he should have just reached out to James Charles and say, hey, I heard X, Y, and Z, is this true? I do feel as though Shane did kind of want to use this whole situation to make a docu-series like he usually does, and he kind of took advantage of that situation, which is probably why people are insinuating that he was the mastermind of the whole thing. But I honestly think that he was just trying to make good content for everyone, and I think it would have been really interesting to see, but also this is real life and this isn't fair. I also want to point out that right when Tati posted that video and James issued an apology, and his apology made him seem guilty, he did lose a buttload of subscribers over it. I feel like everyone could have done something a little different, and this whole situation could have been held behind the scenes and maybe talked about all together as a group on what happened, because it would have seemed suspicious if everything was going on behind the scenes. And I definitely feel as though Jeffrey did speak out more than he should have, and that Tati kept making these videos, and like, for what, girl? For what? He's a teenager. Like, don't, stop attacking a teenager, for real. Like, all these 30-year-olds are attacking a 19-year-old. And, that's weird. In conclusion, there are many things that everyone could have done differently. I definitely feel that the communication was lacking, and that everything blew out of proportion way too fast, and everyone kept saying that since it started publicly, it should end publicly. And honestly, I do feel as though that is BS, because why would you make everything public? Why would you let all your fans, who are definitely really toxic, because we're all into cancel culture, and you're basically telling your fans, hey, cancel this person, without even saying it. And maybe you didn't intend it that way, but what you did on making it public made it that way. So, to all the booty gurus and all the celebrities, please
stop.